A phenomenon I've noticed within the internet and political communities is what I call the cultural label phenomenon. When, either in a political party or a cultural group, something is labeled as good, then no negative criticism can be possibly made about that thing. Or even more so, if something is labeled as bad, then nothing positive at any point is permitted to be said about that thing. Now, I have a couple of examples. Take, in the political arena, Donald Trump. Now, as anyone who's active in the political arena knows, in most cases, you either love Donald Trump or you despise him. And those who love Donald Trump, they refuse to listen to anything negative said about Trump. Nothing bad can ever be said about this man. He is a perfect angel of truth and beauty, and he is here to save America. And nothing negative can be said about him, ever. Now, if you hate Donald Trump, even more so, you can never, ever say anything positive about him. You're not allowed to say, well, maybe he's a boorish butthole, but he certainly has some good economic policy. No, nothing positive can be said about him. He is Hitler incarnate and cannot be praised or anything positive stated about him. I find this especially frustrating in my own political party, the political right. I found that a lot of the people in the right are split into one of two camps. Either you're on the Trump train, as it's called, where you absolutely love Donald Trump and refuse to hear anything negative, and anybody who disagrees with anything Donald Trump does is a conservative and a globalist who should be ignored. Or you're in what is known as the Never Trump movement, in which you refuse to hear anything positive. Donald Trump is the end of the world and nothing good will ever come of him. And I, as someone who sits squarely in the middle, saying, well, I certainly like Trump. There's a lot of things he's done that are good, but there's certainly many criticisms that could be leveled against him. And there are scores of candidates I would have far preferred to Donald Trump. I think this cultural phenomenon is nothing but hurtful. I mean, it doesn't allow us to look at the objective truth since we're so caught up in following along with the cultural phenomenon. Either we deem something positive and thus all must agree to it, or we deem something negative and all must despise it, and there's no middle ground, and there is no balance. There's no saying, well, there are certainly many bad things to be said about this, but there are some good things. And I think one of the greatest examples of the more powerful one, the negative one, is in Logan Paul. Now, let me preface this by saying I'm no Logan Pauler. I am no maverick. Logan Paul is a terrible YouTuber. He's, I would say, a little bit of a garbage human being, of course. There are many things I could say negative about Logan Paul. And when, about 5 months ago, or 6, he did the suicide video in which he filmed a dead body, well, obviously that didn't go well, and that is something to be perfectly criticized about him. But then he did something interesting. He made an apology, multiple apologies, which I myself looked at and found to be quite good apologies. They seemed very sincere. He told his friends his fans not to defend him, for example, which is very rare in an apology video for a YouTuber. He took full responsibility, took a break to go get time off to think, and then came back doing videos raising awareness for suicide. Now, any average viewer who hasn't been tainted by the hordes of people saying how evil Logan Paul is, and the general cultural and internet consensus that Logan Paul's a bad YouTuber, one would say, well, this is a perfectly good apology, and this is what I said. Of course, most of the internet did not say the same. They called his apologies insincere, he's just lying and manipulating. I personally find it funny how Logan Paul can both be a total idiot and at the same time be an absolute manipulating genius. It seemed to me like, while for the most part Logan Paul was certainly a negative force, couldn't some good things be said about him? Couldn't we at least agree that this apology was actually quite well done? I'm sure we can agree on that without saying, of course, that Logan Paul's a good YouTuber, or excusing what he did as in that YouTube video, which of course is inexcusable. But that's not possible, because we've labeled Logan Paul as a negative, as a bad, as an evil. And so we can never, ever, ever say anything good about what he does. Nothing he does can be positive. Which is only going to make the whole situation around YouTube with insincere apologies much, much worse. Overall, I think that we need to drop the cultural pretenses for which we view something as either good or bad, and then refuse to acknowledge anything good about something bad, or refuse to acknowledge any negative thing about something good. We have to just look at things for what they are, without this cultural lens. Thank you for watching. Please leave your opinions in the comments section below, even if you think I'm a total idiot. Please tell me why I'm wrong, and I'll see you all in the next video.